They're rumors that are not true. For example, my niece had a graduation, and I go to it. A lady sits next to me. She says, "Who are you here for?" And I told her. She said, "So April's your sister." And I had just got saved, so it was a good thing. And I said, "No, ma'am, April's not my sister. April's my daughter." My daughter April now is 26 years old. I have no relationship whatsoever with her because she's a product of what my mother and father made. I have cried myself to sleep for many years. I have been with 4 husbands, and all of them abused me. I felt no self-worth, no self-value, and didn't think I deserved any better. So, when I got saved, God laid it on my heart to write a book. And I wrote this book in 2 weeks. And this book, if you'll read it, it's not out of revenge. It's out of hurt. It's out of pain. And at the end of this book, there's Bible verses in this book. And without them Bible verses, I wouldn't be here today. Because I really depended on it. And that's what kept me alive. And because of that, I have 3 more amazing children, Justin, Jordan, and Megan. And I can honestly say, they've all graduated high school, and none of them have been to jail. And I raised them by myself. And I'm very proud of them. And they're very proud of their mother. Because the things I had to do to survive. When we had this conversation about this book, they found the truth. And they literally cried. They knew their mother had to be beaten the way that I was beaten, and tormented the way I was tormented. So at the end, that's what kept me safe, knowing that I only had him. That was it, just him. And now, I know that I have a beautiful husband that knows everything about me, everything about my life. And he has taught me what real love is supposed to be. And church. I love church. And I love God. And I am so thankful today that God saved me because he had purpose for me. And the reason why is to help women and men that have been abused and that are struggling with family issues the way that I have struggled my whole entire life. And we all have them issues. Some's worse than others. And my husband says I have a very dysfunctional family. Well, he's right. But you know what? I pray for him. And I love him. And I know God's going to work it out. And that's what I count on. All right.
Lisa, we got 6 questions here from some questions that were turned in, and these were cities that most came up. And so we're going to ask them to her, and she's going to answer each one of them. And the first question is, the title of her book is Lies in the Womb. And the question is, how did you come up with that?
Lies in the Womb. That's my first book. And the reason I came up with that title is because I was the lie in my mother's womb. And because of that one lie, not only did I get lied to my whole life, my daughter also got lied to her whole life. And that's why I named the book that.
Yeah, our next question was, how long did it take you to forget?
My whole life. When this happened and I went to that court and I couldn't believe the things that were being said. After I signed the papers and I was deceived and I was lied to and manipulated because he had already signed the papers 3 weeks before that. And my father told me, he said, if you'll just sign these papers, things will be different. I didn't know that their father had already signed the papers. And if he had told me that he had signed the papers, I would have never have